Hey everybody, it's writer and director Len Kabasinski here of Killer Wolf Films. Welcome to a new Fist of the Filmmaker podcast, kind of where I talk about stuff going on, stuff that maybe went on, stuff that's in process of going on, and maybe something that's going to go on in the future. So that's kind of what the Fist of the Filmmaker podcast is about. But hopefully you're watching on my Patreon campaign, right? Patreon.com/KillerWolfFilms. It is the best way to support my works. All my movies are on there. You can download them. All my podcasts, forgotten movie den episodes, guest spots on other podcasts or shows or whatever. They're all on Patreon. So hopefully you check it out. Patreon.com/KillerWolfFilms. Thank you so much. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, thank you as well. Share it. Share the new YouTube channel. I'm back up on YouTube at The Real Len Kabasinski. So share it, whatever, like, share, pass it on. Let's get it back going like it was, kind of thing. So I'll make sure not to get canceled this time by YouTube. So anyways, as we close out the year here, 2023, wow, huh? Some things are coming together, it looks like. I'm working with some people in Las Vegas, namely Matt from the Salty Nerd podcast, who you might have seen me as doing some guest spots on over the summertime, this past summer here in 2023. So, but yeah, they do some editing, do some things, not just podcasting there. So, he approached me to, I guess, I'm not super good with this, so like AI type stuff and editing or cleaning up, some of my older films kind of thing. And I said, yeah, I was interested in, seeing what was what there kind of thing. And I could see, or maybe you actually will see a cleaned up version of like Curse of the Wolf or Fist of the Vampire or Bound by Blood Wendigo. Remember that one? But I really want to approach it where, the priorities to clean up first would probably be, Curse of the Wolf and Fist of the Vampire. Namely because those two films aren't signed anywhere. They were signed many, many years ago to the old Brain Damage Films, Maxim Media International, right? Where I made $0.00, pretty much for being with them for like 7 years. But yeah, and they were cool when I asked, after, I think it was, 5 years, something like that, maybe a little longer. After that, the contract basically just goes year to year. And they, and then I wrote to them and said, hey, this year, I think I'm done. I'd like the rights to my films back and stuff. And they were cool. I mean, what are they going to do? The film's not making anything. Wink. It's not making anything, Len. Wink. So, but yeah, they gave me, the rights to the films back and everything. So, Curse of the Wolf and Fist of the Vampire, Swamp Zombies, the first one, those were all on that label. I had many, many movies on the old Brain Damage label. But then, back then in that day, my faulty thinking is thinking, they're out in Best Buy, they're out in all these, department stores and stuff like that. So I'm going to make a buck off of this and keep going, Well, the keep going part was a lot of tenacity on my end, but financially speaking, for a very long time, they made nothing. So, and it was in Best Buy and, those kinds of places. You guys know all that. But yeah, that was my thinking. I'm going to keep just signing everything with these guys. Even though I wasn't making anything, my brain is like, it's going to hit one day where it's all going to be this rush of royalty money, So yeah. Anyways, I got the rights to all those kind of movies back. Swamp Zombies, Curse of the Wolf, Fist of the Vampire, Bound by Blood Wendigo. I might be missing one in there, but I think those were the four I think I had signed with them. Am I missing one? I mean, after 16 films or whatever, it kind of gets cloudy a little bit. But yeah, but anyways, back to Matt and Salty Nerd podcast, they were saying, hey, we might be able to put this film through, I don't know, so what is it, Matt, if you're watching this, chime in. It's some kind of simulator or something that can clean up, some AI thing where it can clean up some of the film to a degree, and especially those, they're standard definition, they're not HD movies, So, yeah, I would be really interested to see Curse of the Wolf cleaned up a little bit, or Fist. Swamp Zombies was shot on the old GL2 Canon GL2 camera, which is a nice camera. It's just not a good movie camera, obviously, if you've watched Swamp Zombies. But Curse of the Wolf and Fist of the Vampire were shot on the Panasonic DVX 100A. And I shot quite a few movies on that one. Wendigo was on that one, Bound by Blood, Wendigo, Fist of the Vampire, Curse of the Wolf. I'd say a good portion of Warriors of the Apocalypse, or if you want the better version, it's Apocalypse Female Warriors which was released through Worldwide Multimedia or Sector 5. I think they have some subsidiary type things, just like Brain Damage did with like midnight releasing and those kinds of things. So yeah, I think that's coming this year. So, maybe you'll see a special, HD before. I don't know if it's 4K, but I don't know if we can go that far with Curse of the Wolf and Fist of the Vampire. But hey, you know what? With all this technology, who knows? Matt can answer that. I'm sure he'll tell me. But maybe we have a 4K Fist of the Vampire Blu-ray, Ultra HD Blu-ray come out next year, kind of thing. So if that were the case, I would really like to, get Blood Prism on 4K Ultra HD, because that's a very colorful, surreal, nightmare-y kind of film. So I think that would look good, on a 4K Ultra HD thing. But first things first, let's get the older films cleaned up a little bit, and that's kind of on my agenda here for 2024. So that's going on. People that follow me on Twitter or Facebook and things say, well, there's Fear the Crimson Mask, my upcoming professional wrestling, or should I say slasher film set in the world of professional wrestling. So I've talked to some people that I would consider almost like associate producers kind of thing. They're in the Wisconsin region, so for the location they have and what it presents to be, I can knock out a lot of the film in one place. Meaning, if I need locker rooms, I need showers, you know where I'm going for, because Fear the Crimson Mask is going to be one part wrestling movie, one part action, one part horror, slasher, gore, and then one part like Reformed Schoolgirls. So you know what I mean? So, all those locations in a building like that are really appeasing to me. And someone up there had done some legwork for me and said, well, we can get this location for X amount of dollars a day. And I thought, that's probably worth it. But I will probably go check out that location. Maybe not in the winter time. I don't know if I want to make that drive in the winter time or so. Maybe I'll fly out. I don't know. Whatever. But maybe early spring. Once the fundraising starts for the film, I'll go out and check out the actual location, take some videos, take some photos, see some things going on there, and I'm sure I will post them. Hopefully you're watching it right here to Patreon. So you kind of follow me along on this Fear the Crimson Mask's journey kind of thing. So, but the full outline is pretty much done. So now we're just kind of script writing. So casting wise, I haven't casted much of it yet. John Mickle Thor from Rock and Roll Nightmare, and I worked with him on Pact of Vengeance. He's very interested in it. I pretty much have attached him to it, and he's fine with that. But again, no stress. If something happens, he can't do it, whatever. We'll take him off the materials or whatever. But right now, I would work around him, trying to make sure my filming dates and stuff can cater to him and things like that, and we can get him in there. So he's a pretty cool dude. We're going to have some kick-ass music then, you know what I mean? So John Mickle Thor should be involved. I've talked to a couple leads, obviously Diamante from AEW Wrestling, who again I worked with in Pact of Vengeance. If things work out, I could see her doing really well in one of the roles in the film, and it's like a lead, co-starring lead kind of thing. And then opposite of her is a really open role right now, which would be more for somebody that's the complete opposite. Somebody that looks like a Barbie or something like that. Blonde woman, not dark, tough looking, lady like Diamante. The nice dark hair, but Diamante's tough. But I want somebody kind of the opposite for the other role. So I've been talking to a few people, and I've reached out to a few. I know some are like in the indie, micro-budget, independent world, and that's kind of, what I want, because they'll know what to expect. Ivy Smith is one of the female actresses I had reached out to there. She was in Jim Wynorski's Attack of the 50-Foot Cam Girl or something like that, and then a sequel, Gigantus or something like that. But they're new. Both of those films are on Tubi now, so if you ever want to check out stuff with Ivy Smith, who I'm trying to get to be in the film, and she seems pretty receptive. I did talk to her a bit about it, and it seems like it's something, she would be interested in. So, she might go on the promotional materials as well, and then we'll see what happens there. But so Ivy Smith, Diamante, John Mickle Thor, those are kind of three names, hopefully we can slot into roles there kind of thing and Fear the Crimson Mask. But there's a lot of stuff that's open. Again, we're still writing the script, so we're fleshing out, a lot of characters and things like that. So, but I would say I don't know, 75, maybe more, 80 percent of the film will probably be shot in like the Wisconsin region, and I want to say it's like Pembine or something, Wisconsin. So I think that's near the border of like what, upper northern Michigan, northwestern Michigan kind of thing. So I think that's I'm not 100% positive, but I'm pretty sure that's what they told me. So we'll film a lot of it there, and then the rest will be filmed, you know, around me and things. And oh, another actor we talked about, and this is close to being a definite, and I know writer, actor, director, Steve, and I want to say it's Rzinski. If I pronounced it wrong, sorry, I'm Kabasinski. You'd think I should know it, right? But Steve Rzinski, who did like the Carousel series and things like that, franchise, right? The Carousel franchise. He had a lot of actors, you know, and I messaged him. I'm like, hey, I need this or that. Do you know any female actresses? They got to be cool being naked, that kind of thing. I mean, when you're doing these kind of things, it's, you know, you have to kind of thing. But you want to sell the picture. But so, yeah, he had mentioned Jesse Flux, who I know had worked with Donald Farmer and Steve and things. So that's a name, you know, I'd probably reach out to and things like that. So for the slasher role in the film, I've been talking to PB Smooth, an independent wrestler. He is in Pact of Vengeance, but he's in other things too. He's in Carousel 3, I believe. I mean, you can't miss him. He's like a 7-foot tall giant dude. But that's a body type and thing I could see being successful in this kind of thing. You want the Jason Voorhees, you know what I mean? You want the intimidating guy kind of thing. So he's that. So yeah, PB Smooth, he wrestles all over the country, but I know he's wrestled for like AEW and things like that as well. So I know Brian Anthony, who is in several of my movies dating back to Fist of the Vampire. He himself was in The Wrong Crowd, which was a professional wrestling tag team that was in, like, I believe NWA East or you know, something like that. I might have got that wrong, but I think it was NWA. And anyways. But yeah, you know, he's worked for WWE, those kinds of things. I think he was a paramedic that Kane beat up or something like that years ago. But anyways, he's been in several of my films, from Skull Forest, where he's man in Skull Forest, or man in most of my films, I guess. But again, with a professional background, professional wrestling background like he has, it makes a lot of sense, you know, have him around kind of thing. So I'm sure he'll be involved and hopefully in a significant acting role. We'll see, because like I said, I can't film it around here. I got to be in, you know, like I said, Wisconsin. I'm going to have to be there for 7 or 8 days, or, you know, whatever it is. I'm sure it'll be around that kind of thing. So, but those are some of the actors and actresses I've been talking to so far. So, if you've got any suggestions or opinions, send them my way. Be like, Len, hey, you should check out this or that or that. Yeah, send them my way, because there's not a lot set in stone right now kind of thing. You know, obviously, of John Mickle, Thor, Diamante, and those, and we get those dates locked into where they can participate, then obviously everybody's going to have to work around them kind of thing. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Some of the film, like I said, 25% of the film will probably be shot around the northwestern Pennsylvania area kind of thing. Pittsburgh, Erie, you know, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, it'll come along. Fundraising will be Indiegogo, which I've normally used the last several films. I really don't have any complaints, I guess. It'll be like an all or nothing campaign. We'd probably set the budget at whatever, $19,500 or something like that. And but it'll be all or nothing. If we hit our budget, we're making a movie. If we don't, we get nothing. So, but hey, whatever. I mean, that's the way to go. You got to know your budget, know what you can do, and get the product out there kind of thing the way you want. So that's what I want to do. So, but yeah, it'll be Indiegogo. I'm sure we would probably launch it in like March. You know, fundraising would be March, April, May, and then we'll film in the summer at some point. I know Thor is back on tour, so he is playing, I want to say, the Whiskey in Hollywood. I know it's in like the springtime, so you should go to that, because I might show up. You know what I'm saying? Come hang out with me and Thor in Hollywood. Come on, that's cool, right? But yeah, you know, we'll work around his tour, and obviously Diamante's schedule, which she's appeared a lot on Ring of Honor and stuff that AEW owns, so that kind of thing. But we'll make that happen. But yeah, over after the holidays here, we'll really get cracking on, you know, getting the real script together kind of thing, and going from there. And the wrestling thing just kind of fell in my lap, and people will say, well, what about Demoniac? Are you still doing Demoniac? Yes. Demoniac is not a project that's like dead somewhere. But when something like this falls in my lap and you get all these resources that people are saying, hey, this sounds awesome. We have this and this and this. We have a wrestling ring. We have this location or that location. You can use it. Or we have access to it for $200 or $300 or whatever it is. I'd be like, oh, that sounds doable. You know what I mean? So I can't really discard, that stuff. So I do think Fear the Crimson Mask will come first because I think the resources and everything will be there to do it. But Demoniac is not a canceled project by any means. We'll work on that, but that's a project too. I'd have a lot of support because it's set in the world of stage theater. I have a lot of support about that around here, and chances are I can film that all around here, and it would be nice not to travel for something like that and really focus on just staying home, because that's not an action film. But it's going to be like story karate, right? It's going to be the story karate is what we're going to do, but it's not an action picture. It's a horror, atmospheric horror production, and maybe people think I can't do that, but as Roddy Piper once said, just when you think you know the answers of me, I change the question. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to do with that, and I'm confident. So, but Fear the Crimson Mask, I think, will be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for stuff. Watch on Patreon, watch on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. It's twitter.com/KillerWolfFilms. So I'm pretty active on there. Messaging, I used to be really, really good at it. And now I put out a post saying, hey, I might look for a writer for this. And then I just got buried, and I'm sure I didn't respond to some people because I had like 500 emails about it, which I am not complaining about. But it was really tough for me to get to everybody about it. So if I miss somebody, don't be hurt about it. But follow me there, twitter.com/KillerWolfFilms. I always have updates on there and that kind of stuff. So I hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas. I don't know if you celebrate Christmas, enjoy it. It looks like the weather here. I'm in Northwest PA and there is no snow. So I'm not big, it has to be white Christmas and it's got to be blankets of snow and everything. Nah, I don't care. I'm a motorcycle guy. I don't care. But I don't mind the snow. I want the roads to be open where it's not slippery or dangerous or anything. There can be snow all over the place, but if the roads are open and safe, hey, whatever, I'm okay with that. So, but everybody enjoy Christmas if you celebrate it. We're going to be going into the New Year's. I think we'll have one more podcast to fit in here, maybe before Christmas time, which will be a Forgotten Movie Den episode with me and the one and only Joe from Ozone Late Night. So stay tuned. But that's it for this episode of Fist of the Filmmaker. Hopefully, any questions or comments, comment on that video on Patreon, on YouTube, and I will see you guys very soon.